charming. Pet guru. Why my dog jumped after being spayed. I totally understand your concern when it comes to your dog jumping after being spayed. It can be quite a worrisome situation, and many pet owners wonder, what should I do if my dog jumped after being spayed? It's completely natural to worry about your furry friend's well-being, especially when veterinarians provide strict post-surgery guidelines, including the need to restrict your dog's activities. This can be quite challenging, especially if your pup is full of energy. If your dog did happen to do some jumping or had a little tumble after the surgery, it's essential to figure out whether this situation requires immediate attention. To get a better understanding of how to handle this situation, please keep on reading. Keeping an eye on your dog after spaying. In my opinion, if your dog happened to jump or stumble shortly after being spayed, there's usually no need to panic or rush to the vet, especially if some time has passed since the surgery, unless you notice signs like bleeding from the incision, whining, or your dog appearing uncomfortable or sluggish. It can be a bit scary, but staying calm and observant is key. Nevertheless, it's a good idea to be cautious and prevent your dog from engaging in any strenuous physical activity, even if it seems perfectly fine after a jump, to avoid potential complications. This means putting a hold on playdates with other dogs, refraining from jumping to greet guests, and keeping your pup away from stairs. Instead, encourage your dog to take it easy and rest for the first 24 to 48 hours post-surgery. To ensure a smooth recovery for your spayed dog, consider keeping it mentally stimulated with puzzle games, interactive toys, or delightful sniff mats that hide dog treats or snacks. It's a great way to keep your furry friend entertained while it heals. What happens when a dog jumps after being spayed? Number 1. Sutures and safety. After a dog is spayed, jumping is generally not a problem. Understand more about potential risks and complications in our article on why your dog keeps yelping in pain randomly. Vets use strong sutures to ensure the incision holds up during active movements. However, the risk depends on the dog's vigor and activity level. Number 2. Potential risks. Jumping can put the dog's incision at risk of tearing open. If the wound hasn't healed properly, it may open further and bleed, making it susceptible to infection. Number 3. Prevention is key. To avoid these risks, it's important to encourage your dog to calm down and rest. Taking preventive measures can help your dog avoid medical emergencies. Number 4. When to seek help. If you're concerned about your dog's incision after a big jump, contact your vet for advice. Immediate attention can be crucial in such cases. Number 5. Pet insurance consideration. Some pet insurance plans cover complications after spaying. Enrolling your dog in one of these plans can help with unexpected vet bills. How long after being spayed can my dog jump? For my recently spayed female dog, it's crucial to understand the recovery timeline. She should steer clear of jumping for about 7 to 10 days after the surgery. Nevertheless, it's essential to keep in mind that it might take roughly 20 to 28 days for her to make a full recovery and get back to her usual activities. Healing takes its own time, and I need to be patient with her. It's also worth noting that it can take approximately 40 to 42 days for the surgical wound to completely heal, and the skin to regain its strength and flexibility. However, I must keep in mind that the healing process can vary from one dog to another. If my dog happens to be overweight or has underlying medical conditions that affect her tissues, such as connective tissue disease, it might take her longer to heal, and there's a higher risk of wound complications. This holds true for larger dogs spayed later in life, especially to reduce the risk of hip dysplasia. So, I should always be mindful of her individual needs and recovery pace. Helping your dog stay calm after surgery, managing. After my dog's spay surgery, it's quite common for her to be brimming with energy and enthusiasm. Explore practical tips for managing your dog's behavior after surgery in our article on why your dog just stands there, won't move. It can be a real challenge to get her to stay still during the crucial healing period. Even though I can't sit her down for a heart-to-heart talk about the importance of taking it easy, there are practical steps I can take to prevent her from jumping or running too soon. Here are some straightforward tips to help keep my dog from engaging in strenuous activities after being spayed. Tips number 1: simplify her environment. I should consider making her surroundings more accommodating. If I have stairs, I can carry her up and down instead of letting her leap. I'll remove any tempting obstacles that might encourage her to jump, and for larger dogs, I'll offer a helping hand to ease the strain. Relocating her dog bed downstairs for bedtime can also minimize the need to climb stairs. Tips number 2: create a safe space. To prevent unsupervised wandering, especially when I'm away, I'll limit her access to certain areas. Using baby gates or designating a smaller room can be effective in confining her without resorting to crate confinement, which may feel too restrictive for her. Tips number 3: opt for a short leash. When taking her for a potty break, I'll switch to a short leash instead of a retractable one. This way, I can ensure she doesn't have the opportunity to sprint off after relieving herself, which could be detrimental to her recovery. Tips number 4: temporarily pause walks and playtime. I understand that adjusting to changes in her routine can be tough for her during the recovery process. To prevent her from overexerting herself, I'll temporarily suspend regular walks and playtime. I'll also avoid using keywords like outside or a park that are associated with outdoor activities during this time. Tips number 5: provide assistance for furniture access. If my dog enjoys napping on furniture, she may need to jump to reach her favorite spot. I'll offer a helping hand when I notice her attempting to get on the couch or bed. This assistance will prevent her from making sudden, strenuous movements that could compromise her healing wound. Tips number 6: offer a window to the world. Many dogs, especially active ones, love being outdoors. While it's important for her healing to stay indoors, I can set up a designated area with a clear view of the outside environment. This way, my dog can still enjoy the outdoor scenery while remaining safe and secure during her recovery period. Frequently asked questions. Question number 1: can my dog jump after being spayed? It's best to prevent your dog from jumping after spay surgery to ensure proper healing. Jumping and strenuous activities can put a strain on the surgical site, potentially leading to complications. Question number 2: how can I stop my dog from jumping after spay surgery? To prevent your dog from jumping, you can simplify their environment, limit their access to certain areas, use a short leash during potty breaks, temporarily pause walks and playtime, offer assistance for furniture access, and create a designated area with a view for outdoor-loving dogs. Question number 3: what are the risks of my dog jumping after being spayed? Jumping can cause the surgical incision to open or tear, leading to infection and other complications. It's essential to minimize their activity to support a smooth recovery. Question number 4: when can my dog resume normal activity after spay surgery? The timing for resuming normal activity varies depending on your dog's individual recovery. Your veterinarian will provide specific guidelines, but typically, dogs should refrain from strenuous activities for a couple of weeks after spay surgery. Question number 5. What signs should I watch for if my dog jumps after spay surgery? Keep an eye out for signs of discomfort, swelling, redness, or discharge around the incision site. If you notice any of these, contact your veterinarian promptly. Question number 6. Can I use a crate to restrict my dog's movement after spay surgery? While crates can be used, they should be spacious and comfortable, and you should avoid using them if your dog finds them distressing. Using baby gates or designating a smaller room can be less confining and more comfortable for your dog. Question number 7. How can I keep my dog mentally stimulated during their restricted activity period? You can provide puzzle toys, interactive games, and gentle training exercises that don't involve physical exertion to keep your dog mentally engaged during their recovery.